So glad I can make it also today because I was running out of time. I went to my friend's salon. I did my new hair, my firm. She firmed my hair.
Okay.
So we are hurry. Oh, sister, I had to go now because I'll have a meeting at 9 o'clock.
Mhm.
Okay. So I guess we're only two of us now. One-on-one conversation. Yes. Because I don't update my post. I just posted, I think that was last night. I just
Mhm.
realized, oh, I am going to host a meeting and I was busy the whole week. So that's why maybe some of our members uh, didn't know that I'm going to host meetings today. But I also post in the international English.
Mhm.
Mm. Anyway, it's okay. Only two of us. It doesn't matter. Uh-huh. So you have the
Mhm.
questions, right? Mm-mm. So we're going to start
The
now, I
quiz.
guess, because we only
Uh-huh.
have 1 hour. So let's talk about
Okay.
wisdom.
Okay.
So what do you
Wisdom.
think about
Right. So what's
wisdom? Wisdom is the oh okay.
okay? Wisdom.
I have definition here. Let me read it for you first, okay?
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Uh-huh. So wisdom is the ability to think critically and makes sound decisions or good decisions. It encompasses understanding people's emotions and discerning right from wrong. This valuable skill can cultivate it through life experiences, allowing individuals to reflect on their choices and learn from them. Ultimately, wisdom enables peoples to positively influence their surroundings and also navigate the complexities of life with greater insights. So, what do you think about wisdom? I think someone messaged me. Huh?
Okay. So someone's gonna join us. Okay. Maybe.
Maybe they cannot get the link.
Okay.
Uh-huh. I have to share
Okay.
a link.
So anyway, I have nothing bad to say about the definition. I would say that it's even complete.
Mm-mm-mm.
Because you see, at least from what I might call my hobby, I you know like in my learning journey, I've all if there is one thing that I have always been constantly learning, whatever it is that I'm learning at the moment, is that things are interconnected to the point that while of course we look for specific causes for maybe everything that happens, everything is so interrelated that there is no such thing as one cause for an effect.
Mm-mm.
For example, of course, it's always nice to honor your parents and everybody else that let's say have helped you to get where you're now. That's great, and no arguments about it. But if for example, like I could say that it's all thanks to my grandparents and my parents that I have reached this point. I've got to this point where I am now. But if you're going to think about the interconnectedness of things,
Mm-mm-mm.
I am here not just because of my parents and my grandparents. I'm also here because of every grain of rice that I've eaten,
Mm-hmm.
which of course have been grown by farmers. That's how great they are.
Uh,
Because of all the teachers that I've had, and they've all, of course, contributed to my emotional and mental and even physical growth to a certain degree. And of course, I've also learned from my friends and my coworkers, former coworkers, past and present. And so it's so interrelated that when you have this view, sometimes it could, at least from my point of view, um, humble you to the point that it could sometimes hurt your ego or your pride, but it's for your own good. Yeah, that's when you grow because it humbles you really.
mm-mm-mm.
And you feel so much gratitude, and when you feel that gratitude, you feel joy. And so it's
Mm.
a win-win situation.
Mm. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yes. You've been you're here because you learned from many experiences from your surroundings, from your teachers, from your parents, from your life experiences. So, yeah, that's right. You can still see me, right? Are you still
Yeah.
there? Ah,
Yes, I'm here.
because my video is quite small, so I only see myself when I talk. So I don't see
Uh-huh.
you. Mm-mm. So
All
what
right.
is the first question?
I don't see it. Like I don't have the list of questions.
Uh-huh. Okay. Let me share it with you in the chat.
All right.
Mm-hmm. Can I see? Mm-hmm. So there you go. Number one here. Okay, so number one question is about, does getting older always mean you are wiser? Why or why not? Mm-hmm. Someone's trying.
Well, it's not easy to tell because like this question could be just me. Like am I wiser now that I'm older? Or maybe it's it's a general question that that does every human being become
Mm-hmm.
wiser as they get older?
Mm-hmm.
Well, if it's every human being, then my answer is I don't know because I have no access to their consciousness.
Mm-hmm.
But on the other hand, if it's just me, I'm not sure. I only know that I'm a lifelong learner,
Mm-hmm.
and I try to learn from each and every situation that I'm in. I
Mm-hmm.
try to learn from other people. I always know that I don't know everything, and
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I just keep going because in a way, wisdom requires humility, and humility in itself is a paradox. So wisdom really has its paradox. What I mean by that is, for example, like if I were to tell you, hey, you know what, Lynn, I'm the most humble person that I know, then obviously that's a contradiction, right? So
Mm-hmm.
you would know that I'm not humble, right? Uh, and it's the same with wisdom. The more that you say, well, I'm wise, I have so much wisdom. Well, you don't. But
Mm-hmm.
the moment that you don't realize that you have it, and you even think that you don't have it, that's when you do. I've been chatting with ChatGPT about like
Mm-hmm.
anime and then philosophy and education.
Mm-hmm.
Every time that like I try to be like 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 a very close friend to ChatGPT.
Mm-hmm.
I've noticed that the more that every time that I say that in this situation when I'm watching the scenario I can't morally judge because I fall from the grace of wisdom, if you will. I don't have enough wisdom. ChatGPT would just tell me, oh, that shows that you have wisdom. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
so it's really paradoxical, really.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, so yeah, to answer the question, I'm not sure. I don't know. I just try to learn.
Yes, now, no. The answer is no, because getting older doesn't always mean that you are wiser. But
Okay.
depends on yours. If you're really a studious person, if you also learn from your experiences, because not always older people are wiser, while others may gain a lot of insight at their young age, right?
Yeah.
Even though they're young, but they have lots of knowledge than older people. So it depends on their experiences, life experiences. Because even though my parents, sometimes when I teach my mom and she feels like she touch her, what is this, ego,
Hmm.
because she thinks that, oh, I'm older than you, why you teach me? I said, because I have more experiences than you. So you should be thankful because I teach you. So it doesn't mean that getting older are always wiser. It depends on your
Okay.
experiences. Okay. So we can move on. Number two. What is number two? Can you read?
Can you think of any young people who are very wise? Who are they? Very young. Well, the
Mm-mm-mm.
word young is very relative. How young is young?
Young, young, young
But
people.
I think that's I think that well, this is just my observation. This is just based on my observations and experiences. I
Mm-hmm.
think that even very young people, like maybe you know youngsters in their teens,
Mm-hmm.
especially those who know how it feels like to work so hard just to make ends meet, which is a very unfortunate thing.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes they just have to they really have to long for like a kilometer just to get to school and another kilometer to get to get home from school.
Mm-mm.
These kids just have wisdom that sometimes when I look at them, I feel humbled and
Mm-mm.
ashamed about myself because, I've never had to do that. Like, yeah,
Mm-mm.
yes, of course, I've had the experiences of like walking from my university and walking from my home to my university. Yes, I've had those experiences, but not to the not to the point where I won't know I won't know where I'm gonna get my next meal, or I'll have to grind and lift bags of cement just to earn my allowance. No, nothing of that kind.
Mm-mm.
And so I think that there are silent people out there who
Mm-mm.
have so much wisdom but they are just so quiet.
Mm-mm. Yeah, yeah. Uh, I just saw this woman. I didn't know her before. I just found it that I don't know if you heard her. Her name is Malala Yousafzai.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Yes,
yeah,
she is
yeah.
the Pakistani female educational activist,
Mhm,
and she won the Nobel Peace Prize at
mhm,
her age of 17.
mhm,
Mm-mm. And she's so young. And no, 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 no. That time she was 15. She got shot from one of the Taliban group.
mhm,
She got shot, but she survived because she fights for girls' educations. And then the Taliban's group heard her talking about it, and then those boys stopped the bus and then shot her on her head, but she survived. And then at the age of 17 she won the prize, Nobel Prize. So she's
yeah.
the famous female in Pakistani activist. I just found it today because I tried to search.
Uh,
Oh, I didn't know her actually. Wow, so I surprised. Mm,
she's got a book. There's a book about her.
mm. Wow. So yes, she is famous Pakistani educational activist. Mm. And she has film in the BBC, I guess.
Uh-huh.
Mm. Yes, Malala Yousafzai became an international symbol of the fight for girls' education. Now it's she's well known all over the world. So this woman, I found her. She is the one of the example young people who are very wise. We can say.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I do. I do.
Mhm. Yes, yes. She fights for the issues of, yeah, for advocate for change of the education. Mm, so I I think we have to look for more information about her. I just did some few. information. Okay, so we can move on. Number three, are there older people you know who don't seem very wise? Why do you think that is? Mhm.
Well, I'm gonna get straight into the matter, I guess. Well, I'm not saying that all of them, but many of them, if not most of them,
Mhm.
politicians really. When I say politicians, I mean politicians, not statesmen and stateswomen. Okay, because we know what they do. Like like they don't do their jobs, and they deceive people. And of course, when they get arrested, they just get away, and they
Mhm.
never learn the lessons. Like they gather
Mhm.
lots of money, but for what? Like, we don't live forever. That's the first thing. And
Mhm.
secondly, I like these people now. I understand you need money, right? But you don't need to have so much money
Mhm.
to make ends meet. Number one, and number two, you don't need that much money to pursue your passion. So what is it that you're passionate about? I don't know. Is it I don't know, architecture? Like, you could go to PUP or maybe UP or wherever just to study architecture. You won't. They don't need to steal, right?
Mhm.
And secondly, look at what's happening in the world. Like, there are many people like, who don't have access to
Internet?
not just the internet, but more importantly, even basic needs, like food. Okay,
Yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
then of course there are people who can't go to school, even if they wanted to, right? So if these politicians were just so wise,
Mhm.
first of all, they would give up they would give up on their vices. They would just turn away from those vices that they have, and just be virtuous. Like, maybe sponsor the pay for the medical bills of those who don't have much, or maybe start educational programs to empower the people. Because obviously, like,
Mhm.
if they did what they are supposed to do, then there would be no need for, like,
Mhm.
dramatic, I don't know, campaigns. It's a waste of money, because obviously, like, if everyone knew that you could be trusted because of your works, then there would
Mhm.
be no need for campaigns.
That's
But
right.
yeah, they lack wisdom.
Yeah, that's right. Because you know what? Because they just a lot of people, they just campaigning and for themselves when they get the positions, and then most of them are corrupt.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's why they whatever any funds for the government from the government, and then just put in their pockets, and
Uh-huh.
yeah, they don't really give it to people or serve or make projects. So that's how that's that's why it happens, especially in the Philippines, I would say.
Yeah.
Right? But in Korea it's really different. You can see everywhere it's very productive, and although you pay taxes, but you can see the results. There are many projects and everyone can use it. So, but yeah, I feel sorry in our country because most of our politicians, they just
Yeah.
put in their pockets. They don't really
Yeah,
think.
and for me, what's even worse is that our people, like, they fight over the internet. Like, I'm like, hey, like, do you guys even think that these people are willing to fight for you in case of need? We are dividing ourselves against ourselves.
Mm,
These people don't care about us, and here we are fighting over what? Their
mm,
agendas.
that's right. Mm-mm. Yeah. Our leaders must be wiser, right?
Yeah.
That's yeah, because if you have weak leader and not yeah, if it's stupid, and then what happened to your country? So
Yeah.
you should choose the strong and wise leader. Mm-mm. Ah, I heard that many issues in the Philippines, Sarah versus to our president. Now
Yeah.
they
Yeah.
are not in good term and they're not in good like before they're both ally and always campaigning during the campaign. So we supported them. BBM here in South Korea, we rally and
Uh-huh.
yes, we went to Daegu, gather all the Filipinos because we supported BBM, Sarah and BBM. But now they're separated. So
Yeah.
and they're always fighting, throwing issues at each other. So I don't know what happened. Now it's been 2 years already, right? 2 years or 3 years?
Three
BBM.
years. 3 years.
3 years
Yeah.
already.
3 years.
Is there
Yeah.
any new, I mean, new in the Philippines, new projects or?
New projects. I wouldn't be so sure about that. I think there are. I'm not just updated really, but I think one of it's I think that there are so many problems. Well, there are always problems, but
Mm-mm,
one of the hot issues nowadays is that apart from China, China is an obvious thing.
mm-mm,
Um, like this Chinese national
mm-mm,
who's being granted citizenship into our country by the Senate. Now, I don't know what
mm-mm,
Sarah and Marcus have to say about the matter, but
mm-mm,
well, I'm not saying that, hey, what was it? I'm not saying that Riza is correct all the time or always tells the truth. But what I'm
mm-mm,
trying to say is like when she raised this issue of this Chinese national may have something on his sleeve.
mm-mm,
We don't know. And I think you know that like last year
mm-mm,
there was an issue about if farm girl Alice Guo, right? So
mm-mm.
it was discovered that first of all she wasn't a Filipino citizen, and she was born
Oh,
in China and really not
I heard
Chinese.
that issue.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So
Mm-mm,
like if we had to if that was a hot topic,
mm,
and then that was a problem of its own. Not to mention that there were like Chinese drug lords and
mm, mm, mm,
pogos.
mm.
Um, and recently, like they've just granted, uh, you know, uh, Filipino citizenship to
Citizenship.
yeah,
Oh.
to a
But
Chinese national.
he's Chinese
Yeah,
man.
he's really Chinese.
But why he got the Filipino citizenship?
Well, that's the question that's worth asking because
Mm.
it could be it might be the case that under the table schemes, or
Mm.
maybe or,
That's
or
right.
maybe the
Yeah,
or maybe
corrupt.
or
Mm-mm.
maybe it's maybe there's some kind of a COVID plan.
Mm.
Well, I'm not like that. I'm not a member of the military. And nor am I saying that I have the mindset of a leader. But
Mm-mm.
what I've learned from Sun Tzu's Art of War, which is a book from from China, ancient China to be precise. Um,
Mm-mm.
warfare is all about deception. Like, for example, if you were my opponent, I'd pretend to be your friend, I would let you in, and then I would
Ah,
investigate on you. That's also
ah,
possible. I'm not
yeah.
saying that
It's
they are
kind of
correct. Yeah,
ah
you have to tip the you have to tip the
spy
balance. Yeah,
your opponent. Uh-huh.
yeah. Like let them come in as a friend, but then
Yeah.
investigate on him, watch him.
Watch and then
Yeah,
you can get that information you can
yeah,
use in your own.
yeah, 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 yeah,
That's right. So you should be careful, right? If someone's
yeah,
really nicely to you, friendly to you, be careful.
yeah, yeah,
Be wise all the time.
yeah, yeah.
Yes. Wow. Okay. What is next question? Can you read? What is that?
Okay, okay. Right. Let me
See.
look at the chat. Okay, so
Uh-huh. Do you
all right,
believe?
Holder, how do different cultures
Ah,
see
no, no, no.
age?
We're still in number four. Do you believe?
Okay, okay.
Right?
Do
Mm-mm.
you? Okay, wait.
Mm-mm-mm.
I'm scrolling up.
Do you
Do you
believe?
believe wisdom can be taught, or are you born with it?
Mm.
Um,
Yes, I
well,
believe.
this is a in all honesty,
Uh-huh.
there are two possible answers to this: yes and no,
Yes or no?
depending on the tradition where you're coming from.
Mm-mm-mm.
Because first of all, we have on the whole, well, obviously there is African philosophy, but I know nothing much about that, and so what I'm familiar with Western philosophy and Eastern philosophy, and each of these
Mm-mm-mm.
has different schools of thought, so it's really broad. There are schools of thought that would say that we have this innate wisdom,
Mm.
especially in Eastern philosophy.
Okay.
But there are also schools of thought that would say, well, we don't, and we only learn from others. We are taught,
Mm-mm-mm.
and also we learn as life teaches, the greatest teacher, experience, right? Um,
Mm-mm-mm.
so it really depends, but I would say that it's not so much about whether you were born with it or not.
Mm-mm-mm.
The only question is, are you willing to learn?
That's right.
That's the
Mm-mm.
fundamental question. And when I say learn, I don't mean just like learn from your superiors. Y- well,
You can learn through
in the
experiences as well, right? Through
Y-
experiences.
and even even from people who are younger than you are,
Mm-mm,
really,
yeah.
because well, in our culture, in the Filipino culture, it's
Mm.
a taboo. Generally, it's a taboo. Don't teach me. I'm older than you are.
That's right.
So
Same my
yeah.
mom.
So yeah, like
When I teach her, oh, I'm older than you. I said, yes, but you have
yeah,
lack of experiences than me. She's angry. Oh, oh my
yeah,
God. So,
yeah.
okay.
That was I really can relate to this experience of yours because well, I'm not saying that my mom doesn't want to listen to me as well. Sometimes she
Mm-mm-mm.
doesn't. But
Mm-mm-mm.
there was a time that I wasn't really nervous, but I just wanted to be honest. But I knew that I was taking risks
Mm.
whose outcome I had no idea, really.
Uh-uh-uh.
But I just wanted to be honest. I was in my philosophy class and I was in a classroom of the cream of the crop,
Uh-uh-uh.
right?
And then
So they were just
you're
they would just
minded?
be aces.
Uh-uh.
I was just I was in the among the cream of the crop, the best students in the school.
Uh-uh.
I said, you know what? I'm a teacher, but
Mm.
I'm sorry, I'm not just a teacher. Um, we are in a philosophy class.
Mm.
I'm gonna be listening to everything that you're gonna say and examine it because that's what we do in philosophy. Number one, but
Mm-mm.
number two, if I ask you questions, it's not because I'm trying to piss you off or I'm trying to annoy you or humiliate you. If you think you don't really know the answer after so many times of contemplation, it's okay.
Mm-mm-mm.
But please know that I'm doing that because I'm also learning from you. I am
Mm.
a teacher, but I'm also going to be learning from you.
Mm.
So I'm not just a teacher here, I'm also a fellow learner.
Mm-mm-mm.
When I said those things, I didn't I my students were so quiet. I thought, oh no, like have I done something wrong? But the
Mm.
opposite happened. They
Mm-mm.
just
Yeah.
clapped their hands and they were
Mm.
happy about it.
That's
One
right.
of one of the most memorable things in my career as a teacher.
Mm. Yes.
So yeah, like
Because
like
once, uh-uh, me too, when I teach my students, and then I get some ideas from them. Oh, I should teach in this way. I learned something from them that
Yeah.
to improve my career, to improve the way I teach them. Yes, we are teacher at the same time. We're also a learner. So that's why
Yes, always,
learn and
always.
teach. Yeah, that's how you improve yourself and improve your career and how you teach to your students. Well, sometimes when I teach to my students and no, my older students, yeah, I also learn new ideas, new words from them.
Yeah.
So funny, right?
Okay. Yeah.
Learn new experiences and stories. Oh, really? I didn't know that. I admit, yes. We're not. How can you pretend you know everything, right?
Yeah.
We're still learning everything. Every time we have to learn. Mm, absolutely. Okay, so
And I'm glad.
it's
I'm
quite
glad
fun.
that I'm glad. I'm happy that you do that because
Mm-hmm.
yeah. Well, I'm not bad mouthing anyone, but I've seen, sadly, I've
Mm-hmm.
seen some a few teachers
Mm-hmm.
who do the opposite when they like whenever they
They get embarrassed.
get into the classroom,
Uh-huh.
they act as if they knew everything.
Uh-huh.
Um, and and then the problem with that is it just doesn't work. Number one,
Mm-hmm.
and number two, their students hate them because it's obvious that
Didn't know.
yeah, right. Like
Pretend.
and so in
Uh,
the Philippines, if you've done something terribly wrong,
uh-uh.
especially if you're pretentious, you
Uh,
expect people to stab you in the back. That's just the way it is.
that's right. Oh, she's just pretending, but she doesn't know.
Yeah,
Yes, because you can see
yeah,
her expressions, the way she
yeah,
her body language. So if you don't know, then I'm sorry. I'll just check it. I'll tell you later. Okay.
yeah, yeah. You can say that, of course.
Yeah, it's better to be honest. It's quite funny. Okay, what is next question? Mhm. How do you think life experiences help someone become wiser? Hmm. Well, life experiences teach lessons, right?
Yeah,
When people go through challenges, they often learn to handle situations better in the future. But if you're keep doing the same thing again and again, then that is your choice. You don't learn
yeah.
from your mistakes or from your experience.
Okay, okay. All right. Yes.
That's right. So many people doing the same thing again and again, even though they already made mistakes, but they keep doing it. So that's their choice. Have you known someone did the same
Okay.
thing?
Who
Mm-mm.
makes the same mistakes? Well,
Mm-mm.
sadly, well, at least I hope they have changed for the better. But
Mm-hmm.
many years ago, unfortunately, I had students who, like, they they always had the vision of the classroom
Mm-hmm.
from, they always saw the classroom as a battlefield
Mm-hmm.
more than an intellectual and educational playground.
Mm-mm.
That's to say, there was so much competition in the classroom that it became so toxic.
Mm-mm.
My students were fighting against each other. Well, of course not physically, but yeah, there was
It's
competition.
verbal. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was rivalry. It was toxic. Friendly relationships were getting destroyed. For every score that they would get from me, they would just compare it with everybody, everybody else's scores.
Mm-mm.
And then there was a time that I had to just stop my class for a while, for a day,
Mm-mm.
not, because I wanted them to learn the point of learning
Mm-mm.
and what it had and still has to do with their growth, and why, disappointingly,
Mm-hmm.
their scores, whatever they would get, would not and could not determine the person that they would become. Like, you could. be like the magna cum laude or summa cum laude or whatever
Mm-mm.
from like the most prestigious university in this country, if there is one.
Mm.
But you could also be you could also be you could also become the most corrupt president of this country. You'd be using your knowledge basically to deceive people and to deprive people of what they deserve. What kind of a like is that a person that you would like to associate with? A person
Mm-mm.
that you would want to befriend? I don't know. I don't think so. No.
Mm-mm.
So yeah, while again I'm not against like getting high scores if that's something that you like,
That's right.
but
Mm-hmm.
the point is really to learn.
That's right. Mm. Yeah. And also, have you noticed some people when they're very good at school, like academics, but
Mhm.
in their real life,
Uh-huh.
they are they don't know how to handle in their real life.
Oh yes.
But they're
Yes.
very good at academic. They're always magna cum laude or summa or whatever, get many medals or but through their life in real situation, they don't know how to handle it.
Oh,
So,
by the way, I have something to share with you. It's true.
mhm,
I'm not saying that this is true in all cases, but
mhm,
I've seen many cases of this situation. Um,
mm,
my, my mom was in one of her friends' house who owned a company somewhere in Manila, and so they were hiring.
mhm,
Of course, they needed employees, and they were and had been hiring for a long time. And my mom, being a curious person, just looked at stacks of papers on one of the tables in the company and saw that most of most of the papers in
mhm,
the stacks of papers on the table
mhm.
was almost consisted of cum laudes and the highest the higher ups
Yeah, yeah.
in the academic fields. And
Mm-mm,
my mom's friend was there,
mm-mm,
and my mom asked, like, these guys are great, these guys are amazing, like why have you rejected these people?
mm-mm,
The employer, the employer, my mom's friend said, well,
mm-mm.
they may have been great as students,
Yeah,
but
but lack of experiences.
but it doesn't mean that they would do great in their jobs, because the path the like, if
Mm-mm,
there is anything common among these achievers,
mm-hmm.
their ego is just up the sky.
Yeah, it's too high. That's right. Absolutely. Oh, Teacher Jay, welcome.
Just call me Jay. Just call me Jay, please. Come on.
Jay.
So good to
Yeah.
see you again.
Yeah,
So
good to
good to
see
see
you
you
again.
again.
Glad you can join. You just finished your class?
Yeah, I thought the girl was still on vacation, and then I got a
Uh-huh.
message from mom at 6:30 saying, "Hey, we're back. Remember, we're going to start our classes again tonight." And I went, "Oh my gosh." And I'm
Uh-huh.
sorry to interrupt. Sorry.
It's okay, it's okay. Because we're changing and everyone has to speak. And we've been talking almost 40 minutes, I guess.
Wow.
We almost finished this meeting. Only
So,
two of us, Roddy and Robert, just joined and left. I
mhm.
don't know what happened to his connection. I haven't asked him yet.
Okay.
Okay, we've been talking about wisdom. So I sent you many questions.
Yeah, it was a
We,
fascinating topic. That's why I asked you if I could join on
yeah,
it.
yes,
So I do read your posts.
yes.
I saw it on Instagram. Um,
Yeah. Okay. So we're in the question number 4. How do you think life experiences help someone become wiser? That is we're almost finished, but we're only just number 4 questions.
it's okay. It's
Maybe
okay.
we can continue this next week if
Yeah, we should. We should.
we still have many questions. So what you can share about us, Jay? Okay, I'll call you Jay.
Mhm.
About wisdom.
What can
Anything?
I share?
What do you think about wisdom?
So I'll go to the initial question.
Mm-hmm.
Does getting older mean you're wiser?
Mm.
For a lot of people, I think yes, but I wouldn't necessarily, I don't know if I would call it wisdom. It's because you've gained more experience, you think about a situation or a problem before acting more. You take your time, you're a little bit more patient, I think. Because I will tell you, when I was 20, I had no patience. I just did stuff. But now I'm an old man. I'm 55.
Mm-hmm. You
I
have to
slow down.
slow
I slow
down.
down.
Think
Yeah.
first before you act.
Think before do. Yes.
Before you do
I
act.
should have listened to my grandfather 30 years ago. It would have saved me a lot of pain along.
Mm. Because that time you're really in rush because you're in your 20s, but
Yeah.
now you become more wiser and think first before you do if this is right or wrong. Mm.
And then the other question, so do you believe wisdom can be taught or are you born with it?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it's either one of those. I don't think it can be taught. You can teach knowledge and you can teach information, but you can't really teach wisdom. And you're not really born with wisdom. I think it comes from experience. That's
Mm.
what I think.
Absolutely. Yes, through experiences we can learn. How about uh, go back to the
Okay. Can you think of any young people who are very wise? Who are they?
Mhm.
You know, all the young people I know right now, they're all students of mine. And I would consider none of them, I mean, they're like 7 and 8 years old. I wouldn't consider any of them wise.
Uh, they're
they're
too
they're
young.
normal. They're normal 7, 8 year olds. But like if I think about teenagers, I know a lot of smart teenagers, particularly there seems to be a lot of really intelligent girls, teenage girls from Taiwan that I talk to, very
Mhm.
intelligent.
Wow.
Um, but is that, but I don't consider that wisdom.
Mm-mm.
You
They're
know,
just intelligent, smart
they're just
for the
smart.
academic. Academic.
Right, academic. You're right, right, right.
Uh.
And uh, older people you know who don't seem to, oh, of course, of course. Um, you know, when in my previous life,
Mm.
um, when when I was a manager, okay, I had a hard time with this in the beginning. If you need to cut me off, just cut me off. It's okay.
Mhm.
Um, but I had a hard time in the beginning because some of the people working for me were 20 years older than me. And I thought, you know, and I had a hard time with that in the beginning. And then I found out that I was the only one that had a problem with it. They didn't have a problem with it because they didn't want to do that. Were some of them not very wise? Yeah, yeah, there were some. But
Mhm.
for the most part, I think that experience, most people learn from experience. And
Mhm. Mhm.
I do think they have something to offer. Did I answer your question?
Oh yes. Sure, sure.
Like,
Feel free
I'll
to
be
talk.
honest,
In
my
your
mom,
opinion.
my
Go.
mom is not the wisest person in the world. I'll be honest with you.
Uh-huh.
I'm
Oh
going to
no.
be very honest.
I agree. I agree with that.
um,
Same
she,
thing.
you know, she lives in a small town and lives in a small, she has a small life and she's happy and she was a great mom. And I don't mean anything,
Mm-mm.
but you know, when I think wisdom, I think, do they make smart money decisions? Do they think about the future? Like,
Mm-mm.
do they, when they make a decision, do they think about what's going to happen right now? Or do they think 5 years down the line or 10 years down the line?
Mm-mm.
And my mom never did, even today.
No plan, right?
No plan, no plan. That's right. No
Just
plan.
live now and be
Right,
happy,
right,
right?
right. You know, I think my mom should have lived here in the Philippines, to be honest with you, because I think a lot of people, and I don't mean anything, I'm not talking negative about anybody, but I think a lot of people live that way in the Philippines.
Yeah. One day millionaire, spend all the
Right,
money and then no money
gone.
tomorrow.
Exactly, exactly,
Yes.
exactly. I think a lot of people are like that.
Yeah,
I
no
saw you
sleep.
were here in the Philippines recently.
Yes, last year, that was December, so
Hmm.
we celebrated our New Year in the Philippines with my family.
Wow, cool.
Mm-mm. Just 1 week, so it was so fast. So
Yeah,
I want to go back to the Philippines.
come on
I
back.
miss Philippines.
Where does your family live? Where do they live?
We just went to Cagayan de Oro. Actually, my hometown is in Zamboanga del Sur in Mindanao.
Okay,
But I just went to Cagayan de Oro because if I travel to my hometown, it's too far. So my
right.
time just 1 week, and we're just spending all traveling. Oh,
Sure.
so tiring. Mm.
Sure. We left Manila like 6 months ago and we moved to Lipa in Batangas.
Batangas.
Uh,
Roddy, you are from
Pampanga.
Pampanga. Yeah, he lives in
Oh, you're from the
Pampanga.
Philippines.
Yes, I
Oh,
am.
all right, cool. Hey, cool. I live here.
Mm,
I've lived here for 10 years now.
10
Okay,
years.
Very
Oh,
long time.
so long.
I wouldn't have stayed if I didn't like it. That I can say.
Mm.
I wouldn't have stayed if I
So
didn't.
you're living in Lipa, Batangas now?
Yeah.
But Batangas, it's quite far in Manila. It
Not
takes
really. Takes
six
an hour and a
hours?
half. No, geez, no,
No,
1 or 2 hours.
1 hour, two
It
hours.
only takes it only takes an hour to get from Manila to here.
It's quite so
Yeah,
close.
and the town is much smaller. The biggest problem I had with Manila, oh my gosh, it was so dirty.
It's very crowded.
Well, it was very dirty. When we left our neighborhood, it
Uh-uh.
was just everything was very dirty and nothing's taken very well taken care of.
Uh-huh.
But here, it's not like that. The city's very clean.
Clean.
But my wife tricked me. She tricked me.
What?
She tricked me. I would have never moved here if she had told me this.
Mm.
There's no taxis here.
That's actually you should have your car.
There's no taxis here. All they have are the little tricycles, and
Tricycle.
they
Uh-uh.
are the sidecars are not made for Americans. They're very
Mm-mm.
small.
Where's
So I mean,
you
they're like
you
this.
can't get
sorry.
in. That's right. It's
But I
very
like it.
uncomfortable.
Yeah. So we had to get a car because I in Manila I would never drive a car because
Mm-mm-mm. Always
um,
taxi.
yeah, I just took taxis everywhere.
Mm.
Um,
And
but
the motor tricycle is so noisy,
I
right?
don't care about that because when I get on a tricycle, it's only
Uh-huh.
10 minutes. I'm only
10
in there for
minutes.
10 minutes. I don't really care. I don't
Mm.
really care.
But Batangas is it? I think it's always flood during rainy season. No.
Batangas, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Lipa, no. Lipa's up like
Uh-huh.
it's like kind of like Tagaytay, I think, where you're
Mm.
elevated because of the mountains.
Mountains. Uh-huh.
Yeah. But
Okay.
we did get flooded. Our house was actually our house didn't get flooded, but we did get flooded. Lipa did this past
Mhm.
hurricane season, typhoon season, excuse me. And um, the only reason we left our house is because we didn't have any electricity.
Uh-huh.
And I'm American, I need air conditioning, which means electricity. uh, but yeah,
Oh,
so
I see. Okay. Okay, let's go back to our discussion.
yes.
What is next question, Roddy? Can you read?
Okay, so can I? Okay, so can a young person be wiser than an older person? Why do you think that? Oh,
Mm-hmm.
it's possible, really. It's possible.
Mm-hmm.
Well, maybe it's not always possible, but it's possible because at least in my experience as a teacher,
Mm-hmm.
um, I had students who were not just smart, but they had this sense of wonder and openness to learn from different perspectives,
Mm,
which is crucial in philosophy. And I had students who, while they were amazing at maybe physics, chemistry, in my philosophy class, they just hated um, the, they just hated every minute of having to listen to different perspectives because maybe they were so adamant about their beliefs. But to me, like, if you're so secure about your beliefs, then why wouldn't you want to listen to others?
mm, mm, mm,
Like, like you could be the most ardent Catholic or atheist or whatever, but you could still enjoy listening to what Buddhists would have to say, what atheists would have to say, what agnostics would have to say. And yeah, just because you don't agree with what other people believe in doesn't mean that you have nothing to learn from them. In fact, they are more likely to like teach you things that you would, I think, never learn unless you spend some time listening to them. And in my philosophy class, it was always important because that's the first lesson
mm,
doing
mm,
philosophy. But
mm,
they we are required to listen to partial perspectives. That means your perspective, my perspective, his perspective, their perspectives, and then by doing that, you would have a holistic perspective, which is the goal of the first lesson. But again, I had students who were smart, really smart, but they were not wise because they were not willing to humble themselves and listen to what other people had
mm,
to say. And I had students who may not have been really as smart, but they were wise and very humble, really,
mm.
and very open to learning from others.
Yeah.
Yes. So yeah, and they were from different ages, and I had students who were much younger, but they were willing to listen from others from a very humble perspective. And I had students who were really old for whatever reason. They were very smart, but they were not wise because they were not willing to humble themselves down and to listen to others. That's my
Mm.
answer. Thank you.
Oh, yes. So they are not open-minded,
Yeah.
others' opinions. So yeah, also young person can be wiser if they have had unique experiences
Oh yes.
or have learned a lot from their surroundings. As you
And
mentioned, if they're not willing to listen other people's perspective, then they're not wiser. They just stick on their own beliefs.
Yep.
All right. How about Jay? What you can say about this young person can be wiser than an older
absolutely, they can
person?
be. And
Mhm.
I think somebody mentioned their experiences. If they've had more experiences, they can be wiser. Um, even if they had the right family, if they had the right people around them when they were growing up, people that my grandfather was the greatest man I knew. The
Mhm.
problem is I didn't grow up with him right there every day. He lived far away from me. Um, and I think he would have been a great teacher or mentor, which would have maybe helped the 20-year-old Jay. I do
Mhm.
think so. I do think so. But yeah, younger can definitely be wiser than older because the older person may have just
Influence
my
them.
mom,
Mm,
my mom, she stays in one little small town
mm,
and has never even left the United States.
mm. Never
So,
gain experiences from other countries.
right, other
Mm,
people.
yes, I understand. But my mom, she lives also in small town, which is
Hmm.
my country in the Philippines, and yes, she has only few experiences. So whenever
Right.
I teach her, sometimes she feel like I touch her ego. So she said, "Don't teach me. I'm older than you." So Yeah, okay. So I said, you should be thankful because I share my knowledge to you.
Right. You should give me money, Mom.
Yeah. I'm always accept when someone teach me if they're even though they're younger than me. Oh, thank you. I didn't know that. Thanks for sharing. Yes, you should always be grateful and open-minded.
But we're not, are we?
Not really.
We're not, are we? We're not always that way. We're not
No,
always that way.
sometimes people feel like, oh, why? I'm older than you. Why you teach me?
Right. Who are you talking to?
I'm
Who are you
joking.
talking to?
They feel like, oh, we insult them or touch their ego, right? So that's why. Uh-huh. What's next? What is next? How do
All
different
right, how
cultures can you read
cultures.
already?
All right, how do different cultures see age and wisdom?
Mm-hmm.
Do they think the same way?
Mm-hmm.
Be sure, really, because first of all, again, wisdom may mean different sorts of things from different for different people, especially different cultures. That's the first thing. And secondly, um, even our perception of wisdom and and our conception of wisdom may vary not just from one culture to another, but also from one era to another, from one generation to another. And also, um, wisdom usually when we think about it collectively, we think about, let's say, good and evil, or right or wrong, which is cool. I've got nothing against it, but there is this danger that you may become so absolutist about your morals that you don't consider the ways of living of others. For example, there are obviously very acceptable and even encouraged actions that Filipinos are are taught to do. Like they are encouraged to be friendly, to say hi, to say hello, to have fun. Generally, the Philippines. If
Mm-hmm.
you didn't, you would be considered as a snob.
Mm-hmm.
But I think in Japan, that's not something that you ought to do. And even in Korea and China, East Asian countries, that's not something that you would want to do because people would see would you would come across as very rude instead of really friendly. But in the Philippines, it's different. If you were just quiet, you just wanted to like mind your own business, you could be seen as a an arrogant know-it-all,
And
cocky
snobbish.
bastard, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-mm.
So while there are what you might call universal nuggets of wisdom, especially when it comes to morality, like don't hurt others, that's a universal thing. Murder is wrong, that's a universal thing. But on the whole, when it comes to especially when it comes to things that we do, especially from a cultural perspective, there are so many layers about it that if you tried mixing in these cultures, you would have lots of gray areas. And so I think that the best thing that we can do as one human race is to focus on our commonalities and learn from our differences so that we are less likely to hurt one another and just try to
Mm-mm.
learn from each other and like be willing to apologize whenever we hurt someone accidentally because it happens sometimes. And we should just be patient because after all, we are all lifelong learners in this life, or
Mm-mm.
wherever we are from and whatever we do. That's my answer. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Yes, I agree with you. What about you, Jay?
You
Different
know,
cultures. Mm-hmm.
yes, definitely. Like the American culture, um, we don't treat our older people very well. We treat them generally, not everybody, of course,
Mm-mm.
speaking in general terms, but they don't treat people that are older than them, not necessarily old people, but just older. They don't treat them a lot of times with that they have any wisdom. And it's even also like the big difference between like the US culture and the Asian cultures, because I think they're much better at being respectful and listening to older people. We're not very good at that, to be honest with you. We're not very good at that. So I definitely think this, even in Europe, I lived in Europe, the Middle East, I don't know. I lived there for a long time, but I was never in that kind of situation. So I don't know. But yeah, I think so.
Yes. But here in Korea, especially, they very respected to
Yeah.
elders.
Yeah.
Especially when they eat, you should wait for the elders first to sit
Mhm.
down. You cannot eat unless the elders sitting there and start eating. So you should wait. But in the Philippines, it doesn't matter, right? You you eat, your Lola's grandma's still not there, but you already eat. No, it's
You're
not
not here,
here.
you're going to be hungry. Sorry.
Yeah, here always wait for our grandma, our grandma, or our grandfather's not here yet. So let's wait for them. Mm. They're very respectful. Yeah, I like Korean culture anyway. I like their culture.
I liked it when I lived
But
there.
they are not friendly like in the Philippines. Like we always
No, yeah.
hi, always smiling. Some when I go to my workplace, some middle school students they just staring at me and no hello. So I wonder what are they thinking about me? Always when they see me just looking at you and never say hello. In the Philippines, we're always, even the older or younger, hi, hello, and
Right.
smile, right? We're very
Yeah.
friendly. But here, so I wonder what are they thinking about me? They're always staring at me when they see me. Maybe they're just wondering, or maybe where is she from? Maybe.
Right. Do you
Mm-mm.
get that a lot? Did people ask you a lot where you're from?
No, some just ask talk to me. Oh, are you Vietnamese? No, 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 I'm not Vietnamese. I'm from the Philippines. Do I look like Vietnamese?
Not at all. Not
Yeah,
at
yeah,
all.
yes. Some Vietnamese talk to me in Vietnam. Sha la la la. Huh? No, 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 no. I'm from the Philippines. Yes, they always think that I'm Vietnamese. Do I look like Vietnamese?
No.
Don't worry about it. Like there are Vietnamese people or online that are mistaken for Filipinos. It happens.
Oh, really?
I
Yes.
heard about that like
Maybe they learn. They
from
learn Filipino.
Thailand. I didn't know that
Mm-mm.
Thailand and Indonesia, I know that they get mistaken for each other all the time. I didn't know that Vietnam was there
Mm,
too. Huh.
yes. Most Vietnamese, they think here in South Korea, most Vietnamese, they when they see me, they think that I am Vietnamese. No, I said no. I'm from the Philippines.
I've been mistaken as a Vietnamese.
Vietnamese?
Yeah,
Oh.
like maybe like for like 8 times already. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Really?
Yes.
Not
Oh.
me. When I did work in the Middle East, I got mistaken for being Middle Eastern a lot,
Mm.
a lot. Everybody thought I was Lebanese. Like, man, I
Yes.
know like 2 words of Arabic, dude.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Mm-hmm. Wow, Vuv give us more than 1 hour now. See? Actually, we just only have 1 hour, but now it's more than 1 hour, but still we're here. Maybe, yeah, it's okay. Vuv give us free more than 1 hour. That's
I
okay.
think
We
it's
can continue.
okay.
What is next question, Roddy?
All right. So, what do you think people value about wisdom in today's world?
Mm-hmm.
So that's the question. Okay. So,
Mm-hmm.
well, generally, okay, I may be mistaken. of course, it's not true in all cases, but I think that some people mistake money as the ultimate value. I've seen some people who say this. Uh, Money is the ultimate value. Mm, I find that a little disturbing because, like, if you, I think, spend some time with them and then just, maybe ask them questions like, okay, why do you get up in the morning? I want to have my breakfast. Why do you want to have your breakfast? Well, I want to go to work. Oh, why do you want to go to work? Oh, because I want money. Oh, well, why do you want to earn money? Because I want to support myself and my family. Well, why do you want to support yourself and your family? Because I want to see my family flourishing. But why do you want that? Well, because I want to see my family living happily, and that makes me happy. So yeah, money is not the ultimate value; it's happiness.
That's
Not,
right.
it's not a measuring stick. It's we don't. Yeah.
Jay, want to say something?
You know, yeah, I think. What do you think people value about wisdom? So we're not talking about money here. What so when I look at somebody, I think they're wise. What
Wise,
do I
good
value?
decisions,
Yeah, I
how
think they
to
make
solve
better decisions.
problems,
Yes, problem solving.
guiding others
Also,
effectively. Mm-hmm.
they're good for giving options.
Mm-hmm.
They're good for giving us options, like how to handle a personal problem or a
Mm-hmm. That's right.
professional problem. They give us
Mm-hmm.
options. That's what I think. I value that, the options.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think that I think our friend here, Mr. J, would enjoy reading Seneca.
I don't
Seneca.
have time to read.
Oh, you don't have time to read.
I don't
Okay,
have
well,
time
but
to read.
yeah, like I think you would enjoy reading Seneca. It's very short. Well, not really short. Like
How
it
do you,
has like lots of chapters, but each chapter is very short.
how
It's
how do you spell it?
okay. All right. So let me type that one. Okay, everyone. All right.
Xennicus and Marcus
Okay,
Aurelius. I've
let's.
listened that
Oh,
many times on YouTube.
Okay,
I know who
Philosophy.
he is. I know
Seneca.
who he
So
is.
what was okay?
Mm-mm.
Letters from a Stoic.
Stoicism. Mm-mm. I love
Seneca.
those
Seneca.
channels. Yeah.
Marcus Aurelius.
Mm-mm.
He was in one of my favorite movies of all time. Of course, I know who he
Mm.
is.
Yeah.
Yes. I've listened to their teaching on YouTube. They're very wise people. I love
Letters from a
their
Stoic.
teachings.
I'm gonna check this out.
Mm.
I don't have a lot of time. I've got like 60 students now.
You have to go now?
No, I'm fine. I can
Oh,
stay, or you can throw me out if
do
you
you
need to.
still teaching in that amazing talker? Nowadays, I don't teach now anymore. Not anymore.
I have just a few students from that cram school, and that's it. I went all private. I've got like 60 private students now.
Wow, that's a lot.
Yeah, thanks. Thanks.
Congrats.
And yeah, we're doing
Mhm,
pretty good with that. Getting
mhm,
ready to fire up some debate classes, group
mhm.
classes with kids.
Oh,
And
yes,
then
I.
when I was in the Air Force, I was a meteorologist.
Mhm,
So I
Oh.
put together a couple group classes and taught kids meteorology for like 2 months.
mm, mm, mm,
That
mm.
was challenging because I had to actually create material, and I don't really like creating material, to be honest with you.
You don't have it's all online right now. You can access everywhere, right?
Oh no, I had to create that material because this was different than
Mm, mm,
I
mm,
know kids learn science and stuff online, but this was actually how to
mm.
actually do the job.
That's
Like
right.
yeah, it was I had to create a lot of material. I didn't
That's
really
right.
like
That's
that.
right. I also found one of my what is this website good for speaking practice for students. I found it from my daughter's teacher.
Oh, what
Because
is it?
I can share. What is that? eslvov.com. eslvov.com. There are a lot of topics and also questions there. So
I'll
ESL
check it
Vu.
out.
Okay.
Mm-mm.
Like this,
Yes.
eslvoof.com.
ESLVoof.com. Volt, I think Volt. Volt.
Volt.
Volt.com. You type in. There are a lot of this
Oh,
uh
okay. Volt.
Volt. Yes. There are many
Okay,
questions.
yeah.
You
Thank
found
you.
you found it?
Yeah, found it.
Mm,
Found it.
yes.
Thank you.
There are many good questions, topics that you can talk with your students online or even in face-to-face classes. So,
I can't get there.
mm-mm-mm.
Ah,
What site are you using now? Maybe you can share also with us for your online student. Mm.
oh, are you a teacher too, Rhodey?
Yeah,
Yes, I'm a teacher.
he's
What do you
also.
teach? What do you teach?
Oh, well, nowadays I teach English online. So yeah,
Okay.
but I used to teach philosophy and social sciences as a high
Oh,
school teacher. That's what
soft
I used to do.
soft sciences. Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-mm-mm.
Okay. Yeah, what's the link? Because I can't get there. ESL Volt doesn't work for me.
Mm-mm. Doesn't work for you.
Oh, Vault.
Vault.
Sorry, guys. Sorry, guys. ESL Vault. Okay.
Yes, Vault.
Yeah, I got it.
Mm-mm.
I thought you meant Volt. I thought you said Volt.
Vault. Yes, Vault.
Vault makes a lot more sense.
Yeah,
Oh, this
yeah.
is good.
Mm-mm. So, what about you? Are you using good site for teaching
Yeah,
online?
I use a lot of material that I actually pay a monthly fee for. I
Ah,
use I use two
subscription.
sites.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I use a Bridge Academy.
Mm.
Um,
How much the monthly subscription?
it's like $12.
Oh, it's okay.
Yeah, and then I use I just started using this one, Teachers Together English.
Uh-huh.
If anybody's gonna pay for a Bridge Academy, I can give you an affiliate link. You don't have to use it, but I can give you an affiliate link.
Bridge Academy. Oh, okay. I will try to use this. This is only for speaking practice or
This is
anything.
kids. This is kids English, like a lot of KET stuff.
This is
Teachers Together English is a bit more challenging for them.
uh-huh.
But nobody, I for some reason, and I'm the 100% the worst teacher for this.
Uh-huh.
For some reason, I get a lot of like 3, 4, and 5-year-olds. I'm like the worst person in the world to teach that. I'm like, because
Five.
I'm
Oh
not.
my God, so young.
I
Online.
promise you, I'm not going to sing. I'm
Mm,
not going to dance. I'm not going to do any of that stuff.
mm.
Honestly, I always try to recommend some Filipino teachers I know because a lot of the Filipino
You
teachers
can
will
sing.
sing and dance in class. Yeah, I can't
Not
sing.
me. Not me.
I can sing
Yeah,
well.
yeah. You know what? That part. My wife's DNA has no singing either. She cannot sing. She's
Uh,
worse than me. But yeah, I always recommend some Filipino teachers, but
mm.
they just never take them. And I'm like, man, I said I'll teach them, but I'm not the right person
Maybe
for.
you can give it to me, Jay, next
Do you
time.
teach children?
Not online.
No.
It's difficult. Maybe just elementary, like 6 years, no, sixth
Oh
grade,
yeah,
or it's
I
okay.
got. I got
Uh-uh.
sixth grade. Yeah, I'm not giving you those. Those are
Sixth
mine.
grade, sixth grade, or fifth grade, or fourth grade. I'm
Yeah,
fine.
that's
But if
right in
it's
my wheelhouse
five
right
years
there.
old or seven, oh no, no,
It's so hard.
no,
It's
so
it's so
hard.
frustrating.
Maybe so exhausted after your class.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also, did I ever send you that there's a girl here in the Philippines that has got like over 2,000 textbooks in her Google Drive? And
No.
I paid her like $35 2 or 3, 4 years ago, maybe.
Uh-huh.
And it gives me access lifetime for everything. There's
Oh,
thousands of textbooks there
wow. For kids,
for and adults
adults,
and
adults.
IELTS and TOEFL
Oh, that's great.
and business English, everything. She has
Mm-hmm.
everything there. Um, I can give you guys her Facebook profile if you want.
Uh-huh.
She's, I'm not gonna lie to you. Um, She's a bit of a super Christian. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh no.
Oh yeah, she's like super Christian, that.
Yeah.
Yeah, here it is. This is her link. Check her out. But she will give you access to view that. And if there's something on there you don't want to pay for the whole thing, just send me a message and I'll download it for you.
Okay.
All right.
This is her Facebook
That's her
page.
Facebook. Yeah, if you just message her, I don't know what the price is anymore. I have no idea.
Okay.
And she updates these books every month. They're available. It's
She
really
did
good.
it by
Really good.
herself or
Pretty good.
how?
I don't know. I'll be honest with you. I have no idea where gets the material. It's certainly not legal. I'll be honest with you. It's certainly not legal, but but it's better than spending the money on all those books.
Yes.
Well, if you want an alternative, just well, I'm not saying that it has everything.
Yes.
But yeah, at least it's still a source. So here we check out PDF Drive, pdfdrive.com.
Oh, I know this site.
This is
I know
also
this.
a lot of materials for teaching online.
Yes, it has.
Okay.
It has Oxford Phonics.
Yeah.
It has.
Maryland's got this too. Super Christian's got this too.
Okay. It's great.
She's got all that. Yeah.
Thanks for sharing this information. Maybe I can help for my future students.
I'm just on the front page of the PDF drive. I am Malala. That's about an Afghani girl, I believe.
Oh, we've just talked about.
Yes, we just talked about Malala from Pakistani. Yeah.
Oh, Pakistan. That's where she's from. Pakistan.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, she is famous activist from Pakistan.
Yep.
Okay. All right, guys. So now it's 10:30 already here. Maybe we can wrap up because I have to put my girl in.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you for letting me barge in. Thank you for letting me barge
For
in.
sure. It's my pleasure to talking to you guys.
Bye.
Bye. I hope to see you.
Bye.
Nice to meet you, Rody.
Yes.
Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.